This
Following.
conference will now be recorded.
So, see,
Mhm.
in short, we can say that Encore is only used for registering the student using the inquiry form, first of all.
Uh-huh.
After generating that inquiry form, using that inquiry code, which is being generated in the inquiry registration, we will do the final registration of the student
Mm-hmm.
using the international registration form international.
Okay.
From that form, we will get a registration ID and a student ID.
Okay.
Registration ID is unique as per the student's course, and student ID is unique for each student. No student can have multiple student ID, but student can have multiple registration ID. If a student is willing to do multiple courses, then student can have multiple course registration based on the same student ID. So
All
after the
right.
registration, student need to be transferred to a batch. So to transfer a student to the batch, we first have to launch a batch and schedule that particular batch. So for batch launch, there is a screen in batch scheduling,
Mm-hmm.
batch launch details. Then we schedule, first we launch that batch on a particular date, from which date we are going to start that batch, and
Mm-hmm.
what will be the timings, and on which days, like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday only. So that we can select those options, and we launch that batch. After launching that batch, we then have to schedule that batch, so that batch can be scheduled and student can be transferred to that batch. So after launching and scheduling the batch, if we have registered the student already and we are launching the batch after registration, so we will use students status change or batch transfer option in the transfer module to transfer the student for the very first time to a batch. If we have a batch already launched and it is not started yet, and I mean the started yet means that batch launch date is still in future date, which is not is current date yet. So we can transfer more student to that particular batch. So we have to keep in mind that batch launch date must be a future date, like 10 or 20 days ahead from the current date. So after launching and scheduling the batch, using the student status change screen, there is one first option on that screen is transfer code, transfer request number, which we
Mm-hmm.
have to use as a search option in that transfer request number. Then we will enter the student ID, or we can use student name and retrieve the student's transfer request number and enter that transfer request number on that form. And then on the bottom of that screen, you have to select the batch code. After selecting the batch code, you can click on submit and the student will be transferred to a batch. This process is only for fresh candidate, fresh student who are going to be transferred to a batch for the very first time. For a student who is already in a batch and that need to be transferred to a higher semester of the batch. So there are 2 points to understand that like student has registered only for a 6-month course, like software engineering semester 1 only. So first of all, student need to be upgraded to 1 year of course, so that student can be transferred to a second semester of that course. There is a slight difference in the two forms which are available on the registration screen. That is, if student need to be upgraded from 6-month course to 1-year course or 2-year course, then we have to use course change form. So there we are changing the course, not the registration of the student. So to change the course of a student from lower semester or lower level of the course to higher level of the course, then we have to use course change form in the registration screen. And existing student registration form is only for those students who have already completed their course from NIIT and received the certificate for that particular course, and they are willing to continue from that particular course to some other course or to a different level of the course. So this is the difference between course change form and existing student registration form. So after doing the batch transfer, center have to schedule an exam. For a batch level exam, there is only one attempt available for a student, and after batch level exam, student will be given 3 more attempts for supplementary. For the batch level exam, in the appraisal module, in the reports, student appraisal log is available to schedule the batch level exam. Here in the batch level exam, we can change the exam date in the batch scheduling. So if we are not satisfied with the exam date, we go to the batch scheduling and enter the batch code. Then we change the exam date as per our requirement and we submit that. And we come to the student appraisal log in appraisal report module and check if the date has been changed or not. If the date has been changed, so we can schedule the exam. Now, for scheduling the exam, there are 2 conditions which are very must to fulfill. First one is, center can't schedule the exam before 7 days of the exam date and time. Center had to schedule the exam within 7 days of the exam date and time. The second condition is, center can't schedule the exam within 48 hours of the exam date and time. So if the exam is on 7th of January, then center have to schedule the exam from 1st to 5th, 4th, 1st to 4th of January. So there are 4 days available to schedule the exam. And my suggestion is that center have to schedule the exam on the very first day, like 1st of January, so that they have enough time if there is any issue in the batch scheduling that they can't change the date or some other issues like student is not showing and other options which are not available, so that head office HO can resolve the issues on time and exam date need not to be postponed. So if all the criteria are available and all the information are correct, like exam date, appraisal date, and all the students are showing in the appraisal log, then there is an option on the top left side of the screen, export to NAS. We click on that button and we export that student report for examination to the NAS server. If all the details are correct, like appraisal date, and we met all 2 conditions of scheduling the appraisal, then there is a successful message which comes and shows that we have successfully exported the details of student to the NAS. An exam will be scheduled. So this is the exam scheduling process. Then center will have a test key on their registered email ID. Then center can take the exam on NAS server on the faculty proctor After taking the exam, center have to import the score from NAS in the appraisal log process module. Center can import that score from NAS. After completing all the exam in the sequence, center can upgrade or transfer the student to higher semester batch. For this, center have to select group batch transfer screen for transferring all the students of the batch to higher level of the semester batch. If any of the student who fails to clear the exam, then center can schedule a supplementary, but this won't affect students higher batch transfer. If a student has failed the examination, then student can be transferred to higher semester of the course. But if student did not attempt that particular exam and any of the exam is left or student didn't appear in that exam, then student can't be transferred to a higher level of the semester. Student first have to attempt for all the exams which are mandatory for that particular semester. Only then student will be able to get transferred to higher semester of the batch. After transferring the student to higher semester of the batch, the same process will be followed as per the previous semester. We'll schedule the exam, and this exam can be taken on the NAS, and then we import the score from NAS. When we complete all the semesters, we come to the certificate request generation. In the transcript module, we have two options. Here, one is certificate request generation, and the second one is certificate request confirmation. First, we generate the certificate request, then we confirm that particular request. In the certificate request generation, we enter the student registration and we click on the submit. So after submitting the student certificate request generation, there will be a message for what kind of certificate student will be getting for generating the certificate request. Let me explain that what kind of certificate are provided by NIIT. There are three types of certificates. First one is program certificate, which are for high level of courses like software engineering and infrastructure management courses, which are of long duration courses. There will be a transcript, or we call it a program performance report, and a certificate for those courses. The second type is graded certificate. So graded certificates are for diploma and certificate level of courses. Here, student will get a certificate for that particular course when all the exam record and other prerequisites are fulfilled. Then the third certificate type is PRT, which is participatory. Participatory certificate is given to student of the graded course, only for the graded level of the students. If student has failed in the examination and still they want to get a certificate in the graded level courses, which are diploma and certificate level courses or short duration courses, then we provide a participatory certificate to those students. If they are eligible for graded certificate, then they will get a graded certificate. Otherwise, they will get a participatory certificate in any case. In case of high duration courses like software engineering and infrastructure management, if student has failed any of the exam, student will not get any kind of certificate, not even the participatory certificate. To get a certificate in high duration courses, long duration courses, students have to clear all the exams with the minimum 45 marks in each examination. So after generating the certificate request, center have to confirm that they are accepting what kind of certificate request they are generating. If they are generating a PRT certificate, then center have to ensure that they will get a participatory certificate for that particular student, and they will not get a graded certificate thereafter for that particular student if the student have cleared the exam. After generating the certificate request, student will not be able to take any of the exam after that. So student must have cleared all the exams. To generate a certificate request, there are few conditions which needs to be fulfilled. First is students have to take all the examination if they are willing to get a program or a graded certificate. Second one is stock must be issued to that student, to that particular student for that particular course. If stock is not issued, student will not get any of the certificate, even the participatory certificate. The third one is center have to confirm that they are requesting the correct certificate request, and they have to send an Excel sheet of student registration number, student ID, name, and all the semester's marks to verify that all these marks which are sent by center are matching with the examination taken by students on NAS are verified on Encore. And one more column is certificate request number. Certificate request number will be given to centers when they are generating the certificate request. So there must be a sheet where center have to provide the details of student along with marks and certificate request number for each semester, marks for each semester, each exam. After generating the certificate request, they have to confirm that they are requesting for the correct certificate request, and center will, head office will deliver or dispatch the certificate within 15 days of certificate request, within 15 working days of the certificate request generation. So is there any doubt for the session we covered last week, the Encore training, and as I have explained in detail today also? So please write your issues in the chat box here, as I'm not able to listen any of you here. See, to change the batch date, for like if the batch is postponed or finishes earlier, then we have to go to batch scheduling. Then we enter the batch code for which we want to change the dates, and then there is an option on the very left side for manual scheduling. We click on particular session for which we want to change the date, like we want to change the exam date and we want to prepone the exam. Then selecting the manual scheduling, we click on that manual scheduling option for that particular exam date, and we change the date. And we can change the date till the batch launch date. We can't change the batch launch date prior to batch. I'm sorry, we can't change the exam date prior to batch launch date. Like if we have launched the batch with the launch date of 1st of November, then we can't take any of the exam of that batch before 1st November. So you get my point, Joanna? So you just have to enter the batch code in the batch scheduling, find out the session of the exam, and click on the manual scheduling. Then we change the exam date. Even we can change the exam time there. We just make the changes and click on the submit. Then we can change all the sessions date as well if we want to, but exam can't be taken before the batch launch date. See, we can generate certificate for the whole batch if all the students are on the same level, FOSA. So all the students who have cleared all the exams, then only the batch level certificate request generation works. Because if any of the students have not completed the exam or have failed, then system will not generate certificate request for any of the student because it's based on the batch level exam. Then we suggest you to generate the student certificate request for individual students. We have customized this screen so that center just have to enter the registration number and click on the submit. System will automatically check that student is eligible for what certificate, program certificate, or graded certificate, or a participatory certificate. Then center have to confirm that the certificate request which is generated, the student is satisfied with that request. So if student is willing to get a graded certificate and system is showing as a participatory certificate as PRT, then center have to reject that certificate request in the certificate request confirmation option with the reason that student have completed all the exams and whatever the reason is. Then the center have to write a mail with the issues that they are getting the certificate request for that particular student in as a participatory, and student is eligible for a graded certificate. And in a PRG certificate or program certificate, student, there are only two options. If the student has completed all the exams and is eligible as per prerequisites which are fulfilled, then only a graded program certificate request will be generated. Otherwise, there will be no certificate request generated, not even the participatory, because in long duration courses, certificate is as graded program certificate only. There is no participatory certificate in long duration courses. Hi Tamale. There is no screen today because it's a doubt clearing session. And there is no installation file for the Encore because it's a web-based application where any of the center can use. Let me send you the link so you can log in with the given credentials to you. Hi, Joanna, I didn't get your message. Can you explain a little bit more? See, there is an option for removing the existing users of Encore from center level and adding new users so that the center can have multiple faculty logins or faculty users. There is an option in the screen. In administration, we have users option. We just enter the username which we want to remove, and there is an option that which shows as a deactivate of the user. So we just have to click on that option and submit that. Then that user will be deactivated, and we can add these users using the same screen. You got my point, Joanna? Hi, Afosa. See, if all the students in the batch have met all the prerequisites, like none of them have cleared the exam and they are willing to get a participatory certificate, then we can use the batch code to generate a participatory certificate request for all of the students by clicking the low level certificate if they are in the long duration courses, and if they are in a diploma or certificate level courses, then system will generate automatically the participatory certificate for those students as they have not met the requirements. If they met all the prerequisites, like if they are eligible for a graded certificate, then they will get a graded certificate with the batch code also, but they have to meet all the prerequisites, like exam must be taken from all the students and they have cleared them all the exams, like minimum 45 marks in each exam. And the second condition is the stock must be issued to all the students, and stock can be issued in accounts option, inventory status update. You have to enter the batch code or registration number and you can issue the stock to all the students. Yes, Joanna, please. See, we do not get a certificate request automatically. We have to check on a daily basis that how many certificate requests are generated from which center. So we have to check all the certificate requests from system. But if center informs us that we have sent a certificate request with the details of student and marks and other details like certificate request number, so that we can process those certificates as soon as possible. We receive a certificate request number in system, so we have to check all the details in the system. See, as giving us a notification of a certificate request is a plus point, so that we can work on those certificate requests as soon as possible. We receive your message, or we have to check on a daily basis. It takes like we check at the end of the day, so that we can process those certificate requests on next day. In old Encore, that was very much helpful as per compared to this, because there were many options which were available, like marks entry for students, so that center can also enter the marks. But in this Encore system, which is web-based system, we have removed such options. Center have to update the certificate request which is fulfilled by head office after receiving the certificates, hard copies of the certificate, to Encore system that they have received certificate for each of this for those particular students, so that student can be marked as a certified student. Here is the 15 days of 15 working days we can consider for a certificate request. After generating the certificate request, it is considered as a processing stage of the certificate processing at the head office. Yes, Afosa, please. Uh, for the issues logged on help desk, majorly as per my process part, all the issues must be communicated from help desk only. But as to resolve on priority basis. I'm getting all the issues over the mail as well. So if you are willing to get a response on urgent basis, then either I have to reply on mail or help desk, because on the mail I have to revert as soon as possible because I can see the urgency to resolve that particular issue. But on help desk, I have a 2 working days of time to resolve that particular issue or to reply on that particular issue. So I'm not able to differentiate that if the issues logged on help desk are the same issues which are sent me on mail. So either please send me all the issues on help desk only, or we can resolve the issues on mails only. So I'm not having any issues resolving the issues on both helpless and over the mail, but I have to keep in mind that process which is part of my job is to resolve issues from help desk only, not from mail. Center can remind me that all the issues are logged on help desk. Then I can check all the issues on help desk and resolve them all within a day. But if they are logging the issues on mail also, then I have to resolve them also on priority basis. I understand your point, Joanna, but as per yours concern, we are working on the certificates which are pending for over 2 months, and I had a call with you today also. So we discussed that we will first dispatch all the certificates which are pending on the very urgent basis, so that students who have completed their courses, they don't have to wait. And when I have processed most of them, but there are still few pending, like from your centers also pending. I have to complete them by Tuesday next week. So I will be reverting your all the issues, in fact resolving them all on Monday. I hope I can resolve them all on Monday. Hi Afosa, I'm waiting for your question. You said you have a question. This is the link of Encore, so that you can access the Encore system. They don't have you don't have to install the Encore system. Just use the link and enter your login credentials, and you can log in to the Encore system. See, in batch launch, a student of infrastructure management is will not be able to get transferred to a other courses of semesters. So if all this if the semester code is not visible during the batch launch, then first you have to clarify, you have to check that what is the particular semester code for that student. You can either check in the student status change or students transfer screen in the transfer module, where you can enter the student ID and check that what is the student's current semester. Or if you know the course for which the student is registered, you just use the policy note for that particular course, where all the course code and semester code are mentioned, and you check if that particular semester code is not available, or available but there are some issues on the screen which are not allowing to launch the batch. Then you have to send us a screenshot on the help desk that this is the issue which are not allowing to launch a batch. Then I can resolve that issue. So if you are not able to see infrastructure management from semester 2 to 5, first of all, you have to send me that screenshot of the batch launch screen that there is no semester code for that, and EPM and this marketing also. Then I can check that they are existing, they are available or not, or what is the issue is. You got my point, Professor? I'm sorry if you're not getting a response from the help desk, as I have to handle all these by myself. If you can mention the screenshot, or you can tell me the center code, I can check it right now, as I'm especially occupied with this training, so I can try to get this done. See, we are in a group training here, Afosa. So it would be better if you can explain me the issue here on chat, so that other participant can also understand the issue and they can take feedback from that issue, so that they won't face such issue further. That would benefit other participants also. Yes, please, right here.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, Joanna, please.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Yes, sir. How's work, sir?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm working good also. How are you?
I'm cool. Thank you, sir. Actually, this is Felicia Friday from NIT Benin Center.
Okay.
I'm using
yeah,
my
tell me.
boss, and now you are saying a FUSA.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. See, I actually have a problem in MMS when
Okay.
trying to launch a branch
Yeah.
from semester. The code to use are not just there. Like you know when you want to register for semester one,
Okay.
there's this
First,
column that shows.
can you please tell me the center code? It should be, I think, 270 30278.
Okay, you can't hear me, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. Can you tell
Okay.
me the center code?
The setup.
Center code. The code of center. Center code.
Okay. Okay, let me get it for you. I think it's three. I cannot actually bring it out from here because this is not my system where I use.
Let me
Hello.
check it then. Yeah, let me check it. What is the center code?
Okay. 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 NIT Benin.
Yeah, it's a 30285. 285.
Okay. Three something. It's not in my head. Okay.
Let
Can
me
I go
log
on now,
in.
sir? Okay.
Let me check that what is the issue here.
Okay.
You can see the screen I'm sharing.
I can, sir.
Sorry, I didn't get you. You can see or not?
I can. I can see, sir.
Okay, okay. So I'm logging in here. Let me
Oh,
check
very
that
fetish.
what you
Okay.
are not able
That's
to
lo-
see.
okay.
In the batch launch,
Yes, sir.
so you're saying that infrastructure management from semester 2 to 5 is not able. You're not able to see that.
Okay.
I see semester 2 is available here. Semester 1 is also available. Now, third, fourth, and fifth is not available, right? Can you see the screen? I have selected the semester 2 option also.
I managed to see. It's not good here.
See, this is the MMS infrastructure management semester 2, which I have selected here.
Okay.
So, to there are, see,
This is where I'm having the issue.
sorry, I didn't get you. What is it?
Hello.
Hello. Yeah. Can you type in the chat box as I'm not able to hear you clearly?
Okay. Okay. I
Yeah.
saw this. This is where the issue naturally is. When you see the semester version. Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Okay. This column of the semester version that you have one.
Okay. See, this is the semester 1.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And this is the semester 2 of
Okay.
MMS IM.
MMS
And
infrastructure.
semester, yeah, MMS infrastructure management. And
Okay.
semester 3 is not available. So I can understand 3 and 3, 4th, and 5th is not available. Just a
Okay.
moment. Let me check and resolve it.
Yes. I said no. Sit down there. Sit down. Hello.
Hello. Yeah. I'm just a moment. Let me fix the issue.
Okay, okay, sir. I'm having a class here. I'm having a class.
Madam, have you given me marker?
Hello.
Hello, sir. I'm with you, sir.
Yeah. See, now they are visible from first to
Okay.
fourth semester. You can see here 1, 2, 3, and 4. There are 4 semesters in infrastructure management, MMS IM.
Okay.
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 So they all are visible so that you can launch the batches now. Okay.
Okay. IMSO2 and 3 4 abi? Hello.
Hello. Yeah. Can you type the batch code in the chat box? Semester code in the chat box, FOSA.
Okay, the code is IMSO3 and 2 also.
See, it's here. IMS02 and IMS03. You can see here.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
I can see. This is for 1, 2, 3, 4, right? When clicked on it, when clicked on it, sir. Hello, are you with me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you. You open the screen on your side, and you will be able to see all these options as I have logged in from your center code.
Okay. My explanation, sir, is when I'm trying to this semester version. You know, when you are registering a semester 1 student, there is a bar you will click.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Where you do not get that value in the registration form.
I do. It's not in the registration form. It's this batch launch, sir.
Okay, in the
Can
batch launch.
so you understand what I'm talking about?
Can you share your screen?
When you because I'm not actually using my system, sir. I'm using my boss laptop.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay. Can you explain your issue in the chat box so that I can understand what the exact issue is?
Okay, but I felt talking to you would have been more better. So
no, it's how you explain.
Okay.
Say
okay. Okay, what I mean, sir, hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
When you submit this your page now, when you submit this page, like when you are doing the registration now. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, I can hear you. This page. So I'm not getting what your issue is. Let me correct it. You want me to show that where this
Okay,
page
go
is?
back to registration. Yes, go back to registration, sir. Let me show you what I'm talking about, sir.
Okay, let me go back to that screen.
Okay,
This
sir.
is the screen?
Yeah, I can see it, sir.
You can't see.
I can see it.
Okay, so where do you want me to go? In the registration?
Yes.
Okay.
Registration. Okay.
Which one option? Which option? The last one?
Yes, the last one.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Here I have to first enter the inquiry code.
Yes. You
Yes.
know, go down, sir. Go down. You have personal, I know, personal details and admission details.
Okay. See, if
When you
you
come
do
to the
not,
admission,
so see, wait. First, we have to enter the inquiry code. Do you have any pending registration, and so that we can check with that inquiry code? Because if you have registered any of the student with the inquiry code, then you won't be able to use that particular inquiry code again here.
okay.
So only once can be inquiry code can be used only once in this form. So you won't be able to see the details using that particular inquiry code here.
The issue is when you want to register for semester 2. You know, there's a box you will click that will show you regular and advanced.
Okay, I'm not understanding, but let me get it again. You want to register the student to semester 2, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And the student, do you have a student registration number and student ID for the
Yes.
first semester? Yes. Okay. So there is a difference. Let me explain it to you.
Okay, sir.
So if you want to upgrade the student from first semester to second semester, then
Yes, sir.
you have to first change the course of the student from first semester to second semester. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Give me the student ID and registration ID of the student.
Hello.
Yeah, I can see. Please share the registration ID or student ID of the student so that I can show you the process of course change. Okay.
Don't worry, don't worry. Let me get it.
Yeah.
This is the serious. I'm coming, sir.
Okay.
A
I'm
minute.
waiting.
Okay. He wants to block me so that we will show him the. Yes, this person glory.
No, it's not semester 2 for Glory.
I haven't though. I have semester 2, 3, 4.
And then, this is touch screen, so it doesn't include something. Once you touch something on aspect, I'm looking for you.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Tell me the registration of student ID.
Sorry, sir. Sir.
Registration
Hello,
ID for
sir.
first semester.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm up now. What do you say I should go log in with?
This is
Sorry?
student ID, registration ID.
Is it student ID or registration ID?
Give me the both student ID and registration ID as well.
Semester.
First,
For
give
first
me the
semester.
registration ID
For first semester.
for any of the semester, so I can check. First,
Okay, I'm in first semester. I haven't moved on to second semester. Let me put it on the screen, sir.
yeah, let me first give me the student ID of the student.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi, sir.
Yeah, please give me the student ID in the chat box. You can type the chat box message in the chat box.
Did you get it, sir?
No, I didn't get the message. Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
So the student name is Glory, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see here, there are two mistakes that I want to point out here. The difference,
Okay.
which I was telling earlier also, that there is a difference between course change form and existing student registration form. See, there are two registration numbers. Let me spell out and send you on the chat box also. The first one is the 949, which you sent me on the chat, and the second one is 950, right? See, the
Okay.
first one,
Yeah.
yeah. The first registration is for MMS IM semester 1 only, okay? Because the
Yes,
student is
sir.
registered only for first semester, okay?
Okay.
Now, if the student is willing to upgrade or want to join to the second semester, then you have to
Okay.
use course change form instead of using the existing student registration form. Okay.
Okay.
See, existing student registration form will generate a new registration, considering that this student has previously completed all the courses and now is trying to register for a different course, not for the upgrade of the course. So here, in the case of upgrade, you have to use course change form. Okay, let me show
Okay.
you the process here so that you
Okay.
won't make the same mistake again.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so in the
Okay.
registration transaction, we have a course change form here.
Okay.
We enter the student ID here
Okay.
and click on the any at the left blank area and see. You can see the two registration here for which we want to change the code. Now we will go
Okay.
for the first one as our base registration.
Okay.
Now I have selected. Now see, you can see the change type option here.
Okay.
It shows upgrade or downgrade. This is the exact correct form to change the student's course.
Okay.
Okay, to upgrade or downgrade the student. The second option which is showing here is confirm registration.
Okay.
So we have to confirm that part also.
Okay.
Now here you can see that what we have to upgrade, to what
Okay.
course we have to upgrade in the last changed course. Okay, so we
Okay.
have to select the first option is ADI 4N, which is for 3 semesters. Second
Okay.
option is for 2 semesters, and third option is for 4 semesters. So you have to keep the product policy or the course policy note so that you can check that which is the correct option for students course change. Like if student is willing to transfer to the third semester directly from the first to third, so that you can select the third semester course here.
Okay.
Now we have to select for the 2 semesters only, so we go for the HIT4N. Now we have to select fees pattern option.
Okay.
Okay, now let me show you the course code here. Can you see that what I have selected here on the screen?
Okay. Okay.
The first one, the registration number 949 is only registered for AIT4N. Now I'm going to submit and the student's course will be upgraded to
Okay.
HIT4N.
Okay. Submit.
Yeah, I submitted.
Okay. Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can
Hello.
hear you. Yeah,
Okay. Same thing goes to semester 3, right?
yeah, same we go for the semester 3. If a
As
student, if you are trying to submit to the semester 3, then we can select, we can use the same process and go for the third semester course. And
okay.
later we can go for the fourth semester if the student is willing to do that.
Okay. Okay. I'm so
This is
grateful.
the, yeah, this is the correct process for changing the course of the student. And
Okay.
existing student registration form is only for those students who are trying to do a different course other than the existing they have done or they have previously completed or they are currently doing, so that they can simultaneously go for the different course. So now you
Okay,
can see
sir.
a message here that the course change request has completed for that particular registration number. Can you see that?
Oh, okay. Yes, sir. I can see it.
Yeah. So in the student information, you can also check that what is the student's current course. Now, student is eligible
Okay.
for 2 semesters. Previously, it was eligible only for 1 semester. Now, student is eligible for 2 semesters. Now, if we try to enter the student ID again, it will not show a second semester course. Now you can check that both registration are on the same level now, which one you have done using the existing student registration form, and one I have upgraded using the course change form.
Okay.
So let me show you the difference here now. See, now there are only two options available in the change course. First one is for third semester, and the second one is for fourth semester. Now you can upgrade the student to third semester if you want to. Okay, and you have to check the confirm registration option also. Okay, now in some cases students don't want to go for the higher level, and you have to downgrade the student from third semester to 2 semesters only. Then you can use the same screen, just you have to change the option here in the change type. You just select the downgrade option so that you can see the first semester option here, as the student is only in the 2 semester. So you can downgrade
Yes.
the student. Okay,
Okay.
so this is the correct process. So you have to follow for all the students who are upgrading their course from 2 semester to 3 semester, or 3 to 4 semester.
Okay, sir.
Okay, one more thing here to keep in mind, that center requests for certificates using the same incorrect process they have done. Like student is have studied for 4 semesters, and they have done 4 registrations of that student in
Okay.
different semesters, and student is getting the certificate for each semesters, which is wrong, because if the student is getting certificate for each of the semesters, then student is will not be considered as a full duration course
Hello.
of their student. Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir.
Yeah, so if a student is willing to get a full certificate of 4 years of duration, 4 semester duration, then there must be a single registration for that student. If they
Okay.
have multiple registration, as like you have done for second semester for this student, you won't be having a authentic certificate to show, or a student won't be having an authentic certificate to show in the market that they have completed 2 continuous semesters for this particular course, as there are 2 different certificates.
Okay.
So student must have a single certificate for the whole duration of the course, from 1 to last semester, whichever student have completed. Okay, now for the students which you have done the existing student registration form, which is useless in this case, because student must be upgraded or downgraded only if they are changing the course. If they are willing to do a different course other than the current course, then the existing student registration form is applicable. So if
Okay.
you want to cancel the registration of a student, then there is an option in the registration form here, pre-course cancellation form. So you can cancel that particular registration of that student.
Okay.
Okay, so you just enter the student ID. You will be able to see the registration number which you want to cancel. So you can select and enter the reason and click on the submit. that registration ID will be cancelled for that student. Okay, so there will be no ambiguity in the system that there are two different registrations. If there are two different registrations, student will get two different certificates, which will not be considered as a complete duration certificate because there are two different certificates. So a full duration certificate will only be a single certificate for that particular registration number.
Okay.
That's better.
Okay, so use the course change form instead of existing student registration form.
Okay.
Okay, so any other issues?
Yes, sir.
Okay, understand.
Yes, sir. One more thing
Yeah.
is when you go to registration form, sir. Hello.
Sorry, yeah, I can hear you.
When you go to registration form, the code for Linus is not there. The code for
Okay,
EPM is not there. So
EPM.
registering students becomes an issue, and
That's what we need to give
Uh,
you.
um, can you send me the screenshot or where the issue you are facing in the registration form or the batch launch?
Okay,
okay,
just
sir.
please give me 2 minutes.
Please, 2 minutes, sir.
No problem.
Just
Just-
use yes, advance.
Okay.
Where I was
Okay.
Sorry, yes, sir.
Where down my small student.
Bring it. Bring it.
Hi, NIT OTA. For cancelling two registration of a student will not affect the student ID because student ID is associated with student personal detail and registration ID is associated with student registration details of the course. So deleting one registration ID will not affect student ID, but do not delete the single registration ID which is associated with the student. If there are multiple registration IDs, then select carefully that which registration you want to cancel. There must be one registration ID at least available in Encore. So do not cancel all the registration. And secondly, for second option issue, you can check the appraisal code from the batch scheduling. You have to enter the batch code in batch scheduling, and you can check the appraisal code which is mentioned in the session code column in the batch scheduling screen. You can check that which appraisal code is associated with which module which are covered in the batch. Like if there are three modules which are covered in that particular batch, then you can find those three modules having their appraisal code at the end of their session. Like the first module is SQL, then you can find that appraisal code of SQL at the end of the SQL module session. Then the second appraisal code would be after the end of the session of second module. Then the third module's appraisal code will be at the end of the screen in the batch scheduling. You get my point? Hello? NIT OTA? Hello?
Hello, sir. Good
Hi,
afternoon, sir.
good afternoon. I just explained uh, which user you are from, NIT OTA, right?
I wasn't with you, sir. I was trying to do the short screen you asked me to. I'm asking if can I send it on through me?
So, sorry, I didn't get your.
Can I send the screenshot to your email, sir?
Hi, Fosa, is it you?
Hello.
Hello? Yeah, is it
Can the
Banking Center?
screenshot be sent to your email, sir?
Okay. You sent me the screenshot in email. Let me
Okay.
check.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
I didn't get the screenshot yet.
That should be later, sir. I'm working on it. The network is somehow slowly.
Okay, okay. see, can you see my screen, NIT OTA? Hello? Can you see the screen, NIT OTA? Okay, see, in the batch scheduling, option here, we have to enter the batch code here. Okay, can you give me a batch code so that I can show you? Okay, let me take on this batch code as I have logged in from some other user from other center, but this will explain the problem which I am trying to explain here. If you do not see my the screen, please write them in the message. Okay. Okay. Now see, the first module here is working smart with MS Office. Okay, first module. Now if I go to the next page where this module ends, in the session code I can see the appraisal code here. Okay, this is the appraisal code for working smart with MS Office at the end of this module. Now if I see, if I have to check that what is the appraisal code for the second module in this batch, you will see this appraisal code for the second module, which is at the end of this module. And if I go for the SQL, which is the last module in this batch, you will find the appraisal code at the end of this module. So the appraisal code is mentioned at the end of each module code. Okay, you got my point? Okay, so is this doubt cleared? Okay, thank you. So hi, Afosa, I'm waiting for the mail. I didn't get your mail yet.
Please, the network is slowly, it does not pop up, so I couldn't screenshot. That's what's delaying me, sir.
Okay. Okay. Can you guide me using the chat messages so that I can go through and understand where the issue is?
Okay, I should type it now. Hello, I didn't get you, sir.
Can you guide me where the issue is exactly in the chat box?
Okay. I'm talking about the issue is from Linus and EPM.
Okay.
You know, after
Can
making
you first let me.
registration.
Okay. First, I have to go to.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, accept from registration.
Okay. Hi, NIT OTA. See, to transfer the student from one center to another center, you have to use the transfer module. In the transfer module, there is a option of transferring the student from one center to another center.
Okay.
There is an option which needs to be enabled because it's not allowed to transfer the student from one center to another center. But if you are trying to get a student from another center to your center, then you have to use transfer in option, which is not given in Encore yet, but it will be activated as per the center's request. Okay, so if you are trying to register or trying to import a student from your center to from other center to your center, or from your center to other different center, then there's an option transfer in request for transferring the student from other center to your center, or transfer out request for transferring the student from your center to other center. Okay, so if you're trying to get a student to your center, then first the student must be transfer out from that old center to your center. Then you have to use the transfer in option to transfer in the student to your center. Okay. Okay. Hi. Yes, Aposa.
Hello.
Okay. Hello. Yeah, I can hear you, Aposa. So first,
Okay.
I have to go to the registration, right?
Okay, yes, sir. I'm trying to
Then
register for a Linus student. There is no code for Linus.
Linus, you first have to give me the inquiry code if you have done the inquiry for that student.
I have made an inquiry for him, but there is no code for registration.
Okay, so if you have no inquiry code, that means there is an issue in code which is not showing on the inquiry screen, right?
No.
Okay. So first I have to go for the pre-application form or the registration form.
Okay.
You have to guide me.
Okay, sir.
Do you have the inquiry code for that student?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Give me that inquiry code.
Okay, sir.
Okay, I got the inquiry code.
Okay, sir.
Now I'm entering the inquiry code on the screen. Now see, the issue which is showing here is no data found. That means the student is already registered. Now let me tell you the student details. What is the name of the student? It's Roland.
Beanie, Roland, yes, sir.
Binny Roland, right? The student ID is that I'm sending you here. This is the student ID. Okay.
Okay,
And
I can
let me
see
tell
it.
you. I sent you in the chat box the student ID for that
It's not
inquiry
showing.
code.
It's not showing.
Which is not showing the student ID.
Yes.
I sent you on the chat box. Please check that.
Okay.
And this is the registration number in the chat box I sent you. Student is already registered, so that inquiry code will not work once the student get the student ID and registration ID.
Sorry, the student ID is not showing here.
See, I have sent you in the chat box. Okay, you're not getting my messages.
Hello?
Hello?
Sir, I didn't hear what you said.
Did you get the student ID?
It's not showing on my screen, sir.
What is not showing? That the message I'm sending you, or the
message
the
you're
screen?
the message you're
Messages.
sending me. Yes.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen, sir.
Okay. Have typed the student ID and registration ID.
Okay. Let me strain my eyes. Okay. 72. Okay. I'm grateful. I can see it now. Let me write it out.
So now can you see the student ID and registration ID?
Yes. Oh, thank you, sir. I can see it now. I'm
Okay.
trying to write it out. Yes, sir. Okay. Okay, I'm true, sir. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So if you have other issues at your side, then please write me all those issues on the mail so that I can
Okay.
resolve them and let you know.
Oh, thank you
Okay.
very.
With the screenshot.
Okay. Okay. I will, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. The problem I have was after logging an issue, there will be no reply. It will be pending for too long. We've been logging and there was no reply. But I appreciate your concern and your efforts
Yeah.
for trying to put us in
Yeah.
order.
You
Sir.
can write all these issues. If I do not reply, then you can send me a reminder at least so that I can
Okay.
get those issues resolved, because we have to deal with all the centers
Okay.
simultaneously.
It's taken, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank
Have a nice day.
you. You too, sir. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Yes, sir.